So our guest then is Caroli Omondi. He's the MP for Suba South and currently the chair of the Constitution Implementation Oversight Committee of the National Assembly. He'll tell us what this committee is all about and what it's been doing. But karibu sana. Yeah. So answer that first question. The technicality bit. Which would you go for if you were
defending
even defending yourself?
Ah, that's a good one.
Good Lord. No, generally in law, other than the substantive issues, procedural questions matter. You see, we have the fair hearing concept in our constitution, but we also have fair administrative action. So if you are engaged in any exercise that affects the rights of another person, the procedure is as important as the substance.
Okay.
That is the law. Yes.
Procedure is as important as the substance. And that's why the Maraga court in 2017 said, go back to that election.
Yeah, actually the 2017 presidential election was nullified not on the basis of the votes, because I think Uhuru won it by the widest margin, 1.4 million. It was because IBC did not comply with procedural requirements.
Right.
That was the reason.
That was it.
Yeah.
Karibu sana. Janet is going to welcome you with the day's quote. She will give you some words that were said by somebody, and let's see whether they make sense to you today.
Today's quote is by Binyavanga Wainaina, a Kenyan writer, an author, a journalist. And he once said, "The thing about our generation is we are not afraid. We may fail, but we will fail loudly." What do you make of that?
It reminds me of a famous saying by the gladiators, the old gladiators of Rome. In fact, it is now the motto of Special Olympics, the paraplegics. That Lord, when the gladiators entered the ring to duel with the lions, they would start by saying, "Lord, let me win. But if I do not win, let me be brave in my attempt."
Nice.
I like that.
I think the whole issue is what he's saying is it is better to try and fail than fail to try.
Wow.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Go for it. And
Go
even
for
if
it.
it doesn't work out, it doesn't...
Be proud that you did.
Be proud that you did.
Yes.
Which I was just telling Mariam and Eric, I don't know that we're good at that as a country. Sometimes leadership, it's so difficult to say, we didn't get this right. But then Mariam posed the question, do we have the grace
To
accept if leadership says we didn't get this right?
Actually, failing is not bad because you learn from failures.
Yeah, it's failing forward.
If you fail fair and square and fairly, then there's nothing wrong with it.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think procrastination, lack of attempt is a worse crime.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, I think good leadership should acknowledge failures. I think so. Of course, if you look at our debates in the House on the various issues, we acknowledge failure, or we preempt failures when we are debating issues. At least if you're an honest legislator, you'd contemplate failure. Say this may not work, this proposal may not work because of ABCD. But if you've implemented it and failed, there's nothing wrong admitting it has not worked. We'll adjust. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Now, I would like us to look at it in two ways: the legal and the non-legal aspects of the Constitution. The Constitution is not just about legal provisions. Strictly on the legal side, you can look at weak implementation. We've experienced that. There are certain provisions that we've not fully implemented, or we have not implemented at all. So there's weak implementation, there's non-implementation. Then when you go through the Constitution, sometimes there's misinterpretation of the Constitution, even by the courts, by the way. And then there's the fourth element, which is also very prevalent. Sometimes some provisions are not easily understood. Maybe there was a problem in drafting. And in fact, there are some provisions, the most notorious one on two-thirds gender, which disappeared at night, the sunset clause, which has created a lot of problems, and we'll discuss that. So those are the legal side. So when we talk like a constitutional implementation oversight committee, we are going to do an audit of the Constitution. So we are going to audit the legal side, what has not been implemented, what we've not implemented well, where the conflicts are, and what has been misinterpreted. But there are other areas that you can call the heart and soul of the Constitution. National values and principles, Article 10. These speak to governance, and there's political governance, and there's economic governance. Even the business you run here is regulated by the Constitution, if you look at the values in the Constitution and Chapter 12. So we need to look at how we have implemented these values. That's more of both a political question in terms of governance. Do our courts work? Do our executive work? Do our parliament work? You know, the two houses. We need to look at that. Then there's the question of nationhood. Is Kenya embracing those values and coming out as a nation since the 2010 Constitution was enacted? Or are we still tribalistic, ethnic, and the rest of that? And then we go further to the most fundamental one, the economic question. Has the Constitution enabled the economy to work for many and not the few? That has been the case in the past. So we need to look at the Constitution in terms of putting money in people's pockets.